Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is Sean, and today we're going to talk about the death that happened over the weekend in the city of Los Angeles of Johnny Wactor, a Hollywood actor who starred on 169 episodes of General Hospital that I was not familiar with, who was shot and killed when he interrupted robbers stealing his catalytic converter in the city of Los Angeles, where, of course, they don't prosecute anyone for anything, and likely we are to discover that these are repeat offenders who have been arrested time and time again, but they were released due to people like Gascon, due to policies at California state level, and due to legislation passed by the LA City Council. Now, we're going to get into this, but before we do, I want to thank everybody who signed up over at actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
And remind you that this show is available in podcasting form.
And about the shock of Johnny Wactor's death brought dozens of his friends to this restaurant here in Studio City last night. There were hugs and tears and also laughter at telling some stories about him, but also anger and disbelief.
Now, I first looked into this story from somebody out there in the comments, and I appreciate you sending me the tip that I should look into this. Even though it is a national news story that's getting a lot of coverage, I think it is important for us to examine what went wrong in this particular instance and how policy in the state of California essentially condones this, attitudes condone this, and I want to give credit to the people that surround Johnny Wactor who are absolutely distraught by this and saying all the right things in response to this actor's untimely death. But first, let's get into what actually happened, because Johnny Wactor, despite the fact that he was on many episodes of General Hospital, was actually working at a bar, leaving his job with the coworker, walking to his car, when he supposedly noticed the three individuals, and he thought his car might have been getting towed. But in reality, what was happening was something that's all too common in the United States of America, which is catalytic converter theft.
Authorities say he was killed after approaching three men who were attempting to steal the catalytic converter from his car.
Now, supposedly, according to the reporting, when Wactor noticed that one of these people that he approached was not a regular ordinary car tower or anything like that, he decided that he was going to step in front of the coworker that he was with, and that is when he was ultimately shot.
Scarlett Wactor telling NBC that her son was leaving his other job at a bar later than usual when he approached his car with a coworker, wondering if he was being towed. His mother added that when a man with a mask looked up, Wactor stepped in front of his coworker and was then shot.
Joy writing, Johnny was between me and the man who shot him. As I heard the shot ring into the night, he forcefully tumbled back into my arms. As I grabbed for him, I shouted, "Honey, you okay?" And he only responded, "Nope, shot."
So yes, we have an instance where a Hollywood actor was killed in Los Angeles due to the fact that people wanted his catalytic converter more than his life. And a lot of the people that are surrounding Wactor are absolutely livid beyond the level of shock that they're in. In fact, he was working on a project with a very close friend, and this guy is absolutely stunned by the idea that his friend is gone. He can't believe it. He can't accept this reality. But unfortunately, this is the reality that residents of Los Angeles are becoming all too comfortable with, because homicide is shooting back up this year in the city of Los Angeles. And although we don't have the fully updated numbers, as of March of this year, it was up 30% compared to the previous year.
Wactor's death comes amid a crime surge in major cities. In New York, actor Steve Buscemi was violently attacked just last month, while at the same time, women in the city were being attacked.
Now, the Today Show compares this to the Steve Buscemi sucker punching incident, and then they go on to talk about the sucker punching incidents of all these different various women in the city of New York, which, by the way, we have to do an update video on that, because it looks like one of the suspects, the one that was running for mayor, is going to get a slap on the wrist, and I find that to be disgusting. But again, this isn't about those particular sucker punching incidents. This is about the death of Wactor and, of course, the response from all these different various people.
It was like I was hearing a different language when the words shot and killed were and Johnny were in the same sentence.
Now, of course, they don't have any suspects at this moment in time. These guys shot and then they took off, but we will give you updates when there's an arrest. We will talk about the suspects when we end up having their criminal histories, which I'm sure will be lengthy, because what we see time and time again in the city of Los Angeles is them letting the wrong people off over and over again when we get to the point where they kill people. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, theft is no big deal. They're just stealing the catalytic converter in order to feed their starving family, but they killed a man over a hunk of metal, something that was going to be melted down and sold for its parts because they didn't value Wactor's life or anyone's life, because anybody could have walked up in that situation, more than they did the short-term profitability of that situation. And I think it's absolutely shameful and disgusting, but more disgusting are the people that try to make excuses for it. And thankfully, a bunch of people in Wactor's circle are not having it. They want change, and they're absolutely livid. They're pissed.
I'm very angry. I'm very angry that this kind of stuff is tolerated.
I'm pissed that he was killed over a catalytic converter. I'm pissed.
This guy deserved the front page on Deadline for his talent and his skill and his art, not this. What these three guys took from so many people, they'll never understand.
And that's the thing. While a lot of people on the left wing always want to highlight and spotlight the plight of the criminal, paint them as an innocent angel Aladdin, the fact of the matter is a lot of these people are just short-term thinkers looking for instant gratification, and they're willing to hurt, and in this instance and in many other instances, even kill somebody for that quick profitability. Again, I will emphasize this. They believed that this catalytic converter, this hunk of metal, was more important than a human life. That is what they exercise in the world, and the impact is absolutely devastating. And this happens a lot in the city of Los Angeles. Crime is up. Homicide is up over there in particular. And a lot of these stupid homicides, especially the random ones, are based on other crimes going out of control. And as we've seen in DC and all these other places, a lot of these criminals commit multiple crimes before they get to the point where they commit a homicide. And if we find out that the shooter in this instance was arrested, was charged, even was convicted of catalytic converter theft, you will not be surprised to learn that in California law, you can't send that person to prison. We talked about on this channel the snake burglar guy, how he was convicted of 70 plus felony burglaries, but due to a quirk in California law, you can't send non-violent felons to prison, so they put him in county jail, but of course there's no room in the county jail, so he was punted out onto the streets in order to reoffend. Who's going to be surprised if one or even all of these three people have had a similar situation in their criminal history? Now, of course, I want to pivot to the ex-fiancée of Johnny, because I think that this woman right here exemplifies what a lot of people are feeling in this situation, not specifically tied to this actor, but when they lose somebody due to stupid policies. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not trying to say one actor is more important than all the other people that are killed in Los Angeles, but this guy's fame and notoriety could lead to some kind of change, some kind of resolution in law, due to the fact that there's actually attention being spotlighted on it. And this also could lead to the ousting of Gascon, the woke Soros-backed district attorney for Los Angeles that doesn't prosecute anyone for anything.
I want to clear the air because some people are making comments yesterday about my interview that I did for Johnny. It's hard to really think right now. My nose is really swollen. Been crying a lot. I didn't really want to show that to you guys in the interview yesterday because I'm not trying to make people more sad, you know. And I don't really know where the lines are or what to do in this situation, you know.
Look, I didn't watch the original interview that she's referencing, but if you're one of those people who sees this woman conduct an interview as the ex-fiancé and you don't like her emotional state in that interview and you're mad at her sending her rude comments, just stop it. Cut it out. Go outside, touch some grass. What is wrong with you? People grieve in a lot of different ways, and if you didn't like the way that she was grieving, I just need you to cut it out, sit down, maybe get up, maybe go outside. I know that sounds contradictory, but please do something. Get off the internet.com.
It's not steal, you know. Johnny's up above now, looking down, and I'm so happy that I think he found happiness before he went, because that was his dream in life, is to be happy. But I'm just so proud of the man he's become, and it's so sad that crime in LA had to do this, and I'm hoping that change some legislation to prevent this from happening. These criminals can't keep being on the street, and they can't keep being sent back and have no repercussions for their actions. You know, the person who did this, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but you shot the wrong guy.
Look, I gotta be perfectly honest from you guys. Even though this is obvious stuff, even though we've heard this time and time again from victims' family members, victims' friends, from everybody who engages with this woke criminal justice system that has been hoisted upon us by the left wing, it is surprising to hear Hollywood types speak in such a way that is so blunt, that is so obvious, that is so sensible, especially when we're used to instances like Seth Rogen saying, oh, car break-ins, when people steal your stuff from your car, they're actually fun. One time, some guy dropped a knife in my car. Isn't that amazing? For this woman to identify the problem, for her to point out that there are no repercussions for criminals, that crime is getting out of control in Los Angeles, and this can't keep happening, and we need repercussions, we need consequences, I give her a lot of praise for that. I actually do appreciate her for saying those words, for actually coming out in favor of sensible policy post this thing happening to somebody that she knows. And again, you could say, oh, well, she's only doing this because Johnny Wactor, her ex-fiance, was the person who was killed in this instance. And while that might be true, I don't know what her history is of talking about these particular issues. The fact of the matter is, it is all too easy and honestly too normal for a bunch of different progressives to end up throwing the victim under the bus, or people trying to defend the victim, rather than actually go after the criminal. So this is actually a rarity if we're being perfectly honest. Now, there's also a clip where she tells the criminal to get a job. She's like, I get it's rough out there, but you don't get to steal. Go get a job. And I absolutely love that. And of course, that's what the progressives are going to hate the most. They're going to say, how dare you tell an innocent Angel Aladdin to get a job? Stealing is how he feeds his family. But the fact of the matter is, that's actually nonsense in every possible way, and we need to hold these criminals accountable. I don't give a damn what your circumstances are. I don't give a damn how sad your life is. You killed someone. You killed somebody over a hunk of metal. You are garbage. All three of you need to be locked up for a very long time. And it's disgusting that this happened. And maybe, just maybe, this death will lead to some political change in the city of Los Angeles. Maybe it will lead to change in the district attorney's office. Maybe they could shame people, like in the California state government, into actually doing the right thing. I'm not very optimistic about it, but that's the story as of right now. And again, I give credit, and I'm sorry for the loss of Johnny Wactor's friends, but I do give them credit for stepping up and saying all the right things post his death. Now, those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about another murder over a catalytic converter. This time, it's in Los Angeles and of a famous actor. Till next time.